Welcome to Cozy Reading Club, the podcast where we read the book and tell you about it so you don't have to.
Great to be diving back in.
So last time things were pretty dramatic. We left off right after that big bust-up between Agamemnon and Achilles.
Yeah, the plague, Apollo's anger, Agamemnon taking Briseis.
Exactly. And the big consequence, Achilles is out. He's refusing to fight.
And not just that. He's asked his mother Thetis to get Zeus involved, to make the Achaeans feel his absence, make them regret disrespecting him.
Right. So book 2 picks up pretty much right there. The Achaeans are down. Their best fighter. They've just had this terrible plague. Morale must be low.
Definitely. You can feel the tension, the uncertainty, and that's where Zeus steps in.
Okay, so Zeus is going to help Thetis. First move.
Right.
He sends a dream to Agamemnon.
He does. But here's the thing. It's a deceitful dream. A false one.
Oh, deceitful how?
Well, it basically tells Agamemnon, get your army ready, attack Troy now, victory is yours.
Wow, okay, so Zeus is playing Agamemnon.
Pretty much. He's making Agamemnon think he's got divine backing for an immediate successful assault. But it's all part of this larger plan to give the Trojans the upper hand for a while, to make the Achaeans miss Achilles.
So Agamemnon wakes up, thinks this dream is legit.
Completely. He buys it hook, line, and sinker. He gets up, gets dressed in all his, kingly gear.
Homer describes that, doesn't he? The fancy clothes.
He does. This slender vest, the royal mantle, embroidered sandals, his starry sword, the falchion, and that huge, heavy scepter, the one passed down from the gods. He looks the part.
Okay, so he's ready. Does he just tell everyone, charge?
No. And this is the weird part. Instead of rallying them with the dream, he decides to test their morale.
Test them. How?
He tells the assembly basically, look, this war's gone on too long. Let's just back up and go home.
Wait, seriously? After the dream promised victory?
I know, right? It seems counterintuitive, but he suggests they abandon the whole thing.
And how does that go down? What do the soldiers think?
They love it. They're absolutely thrilled. They start running towards the ship, shouting, eager to leave. 9 long years, remember?
Oh, wow. So his test completely backfired. Or maybe, did he secretly want them to go?
That's a good question. The text presents it as a test, but the reaction is overwhelming. They are so ready to bail.
So total chaos. Are they just going to sail away?
It almost happens. But then Odysseus steps up, and Nestor too.
Yeah, Odysseus, what does he do?
He basically grabs the scepter, runs around, and starts getting everyone back in line. He persuades the leaders, but with the common soldiers. Homer says he uses reproof and blows, so he's not afraid to get physical to stop the retreat.
Right. And Nestor, the wise old counselor.
Nestor gives one of his classic speeches, reminds them of their oaths, the glory, why they came in the first place. He really helps steady the ship, so to speak.
Okay, so Odysseus and Nestor managed to pull them back from the brink. Phew.
Yeah, disaster averted. They get everyone settled back in the assembly.
And is that when Calchas brings up the prophecy? I remember something about a prophecy giving them hope.
Exactly. Once things calm down, Calchas, the seer, reminds them of an omen they saw back at Aulis, before they even sailed.
What was the omen?
It was a snake, a serpent, that slithered up and ate a nest of sparrows. 8 chicks and the mother. 9 birds in total.
Okay. Kind of gruesome.
A bit, yeah. But then the snake itself was turned to stone by Zeus.
Right. And the meaning?
Calchas interprets it like this. The 9 birds represent 9 years of war. The snake being turned to stone means that in the 10th year,
Troy will fall.
precisely.
Yeah.
So he's telling them, look, 9 years are basically up. We're in the 10th year now. Victory is close.
That must have worked better than Agamemnon's test.
Oh, definitely. Huge cheers, renewed determination. It gives them that much-needed morale boost.
Okay, so spirits are lifted. They're staying. What happens next? Because book 2 is kind of famous for, well, a list.
Ah, yes. The catalog of ships. It's quite something.
It really is just a list of names and numbers.
Pretty much. Homer goes through, region by region, listing all the Achaean contingents, their leaders, where they came from, and crucially, how many ships each brought.
Why include that? It sounds a bit like reading a phone book.
Well, for the original audience, it was probably, thrilling. It grounded the epic scale, gave shout-outs to different Greek cities and heroes. It shows the sheer might and unity, or the attempted unity, of the Achaean forces. It emphasizes that this isn't just Agamemnon's war, it's a huge coalition.
Okay. Give us a few highlights. Who are the big names in the catalog?
Well, you've got Agamemnon himself from Mycena leading the largest force, 100 ships.
Right, the commander-in-chief.
Then his brother Menelaus from Sparta with 60 ships. Old Nestor from Pylos brings 90.
Randy, he still got it.
Apparently so. Then there's Odysseus from Ithaca, maybe surprisingly, only brings 12 ships.
Huh. Less than I'd expect for him.
Yeah, and Ajax the Great from Salamis also brings 12. But then you have someone like Idomeneus from Crete, commanding 80 ships. It's a real mix.
So it paints this picture of a massive, diverse army gathered from all over Greece.
Exactly. Thousands and thousands of soldiers, hundreds of ships, ready for war.
But it's not just the Achaeans listed, is it? We also get the other side.
That's right. Balance. Homer then gives us the catalog of the Trojans and their allies.
To show it's not a walkover for the Greeks.
Definitely not. It highlights that Troy isn't standing alone. They have powerful allies, too.
Who leads the Trojans? Hector, obviously.
Hector leads the main Trojan force, yes. But you also hear about Aeneas leading the Dardanians.
Aeneas. He becomes important later, right? Different story, though.
Very different story, yeah. And people like Sarpedon and Glaucus leading the Lycians. It shows the formidable coalition arrayed against the Achaeans.
So Book 2 gives us the dream, the near retreat, the prophecy boost, and then these huge lists of who's who on both sides.
It sets the stage perfectly. It establishes the stakes, the scale, reminds everyone who's involved.
And how does the book actually end? Do they start fighting?
Not quite. The very end is the mustering. It's the image of both armies finally marching out, forming ranks on the plain opposite each other. Homer uses these amazing similes like swarms of flies or flocks of birds, or a raging fire to describe the sheer number of men, the flashing bronze armor, the noise, the movement.
Wow, so it's like the deep breath before the plunge.
Exactly that. Immense scale, immense anticipation. The armies are arrayed, ready for battle.
Achilles is still sitting by his ships.
Still sitting it out, which hangs over everything.
So the armies are ready, the stage is set, the prophecy promises victory eventually, but the greatest warrior is absent.
And Agamemnon is leading them based on a deceitful dream from Zeus.
Man, so many things could go wrong. What happens when they actually collide? Will the Achaeans manage without Achilles? Will that dream lead Agamemnon to disaster?
Those are the big questions heading into Book 3. The action is about to properly kick off.
Well, we'll have to leave it there for this deep dive. You'll definitely want to join us next time to see how those first clashes go.
It's going to get intense.
This was Cozy Reading Club, the podcast where we read the book and tell you about it so you don't have to. If you like this series, we invite you to take a look at other series in our podcast and leave a nice review on the platform you are listening this on.